Seeing cricket things clearly in the new year, 2020 vision for the Kingsgrove Sports Centre podcast. It's episode 33. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, ladies and gentlemen. It is episode 33 of the Kingsgrove Sports Centre podcast. New year, new views, but the same faces looking straight down your camera lens. To my left, Hamish Solomons. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. I'm in recovery mode. It's been a big new year.
Wow. I want to delve more into that later on in the show as well. To my right, Stuart Ailey. How are you, sir?
I'm well, Charlie. Good to see you.
Yes, and my name is Charlie Carter. You probably know that already. As ever, sitting in the corner, twiddling the knobs, fiddling with things, is Nick Yanitsis, producer. Nick, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Here we are, first podcast of 2020. We got the band back together. Took a little break there for a bit in the holiday, had one off.
And may I just take the opportunity to thank you, Nick, for getting us here before 8 o'clock on our first day back at work.
Yeah.
Much
You're
appreciated.
welcome, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's not really.
Not really.
And as ever, hello to the Yanitsis clan that are no doubt watching
my
this.
family, they watch every episode of this.
Now, as ever, you can contact us for the usual socials. We're on Facebook at Kingsgrove Sports Centre. We are on Instagram at Kingsgrove Sports. We are on Twitter at Kingsgrove Sport. They can't handle that plural. I've probably done that in the wrong order, the way the graphic comes up.
No, actually, that's spot on.
Is it? Excellent. Well, there you go. Starting the new year in the perfect way. We're also available on YouTube. If you're watching us, you already know that. If you're listening to us, we're available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. What have I missed, Nick?
Nothing, man. I couldn't have done that better myself.
Ah, he's too kind, isn't
Great
he?
job.
Well, there you go. Well done.
Well, I suppose that we better talk about cricket. What do we want to go first? Because at the moment, there's two big test matches going on. Firstly, here in Australia, of course, against New Zealand. England are playing in South Africa. And then there's the BBL. What do we want to go with first?
I think we'll run with the Summer of Marnus.
I think it has to be the Test cricket in Australia.
Test cricket. Australia versus New Zealand. A 3-match series?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you a bit disappointed that it hasn't been closer cricket? Both series?
No, a little.
Pakistan and New Zealand?
I think on our last podcast we might have spoken about it and done a bit of a prediction. And we were predicting maybe 2-1 Australia.
Yeah.
So we thought the Kiwis might get up somewhere. They have not, and I don't think they're going to get up in this game in the Sydney Test.
This game is pretty much faring pretty much exactly like the last two Test matches, aren't they?
Pretty much.
Just for context, for people that aren't listening to us as it's released, as we record this, Australia all out in the first innings for 454 and a 40 for none in the second innings. New Zealand rolled over for 251. So
heading into day 4.
Heading into day 4, that's right. So they didn't avoid the follow-on, but it wasn't enforced.
Yep. Yeah. Look, it's been a little bit disappointing. I'd obviously like to say that Australia hasn't let New Zealand play how they would like to play. I think Australia's been very good.
Well, yeah, I think there's two ways of looking at Australia. Have been absolutely fantastic. They're at the place that they want to be, and Langer would be very happy to have them stay there for many years to come, hopefully. But I was personally very excited about the contest. New Zealand coming in as the second-ranked Test team. Australia keen to climb the charts, so to speak. And
I reckon they could probably swap those numbers. I think Australia is probably the number 2 Test team in the world, just behind India.
Yep.
You could argue those, and then New Zealand. New Zealand's probably the 5th ranked.
Yep.
On the performance they put in so far,
and it's sort of all gone. It's all gone downhill with sicknesses and injuries.
They've had a couple of things not go their way. Trent Bolt not being not being fit for the first test, and breaking his hand in the second obviously doesn't help them. And they've had
all just didn't want to be here.
Obviously not. They've obviously had some sickness go through the camp before this third test.
Yep.
But having said that, in the first two, they haven't really been. They haven't been
at the races, have they?
Yeah, no. Look, and I think all credit to the Australian team.
Yeah,
like they are playing so well. Yeah, Marnus Labuschagne.
What about
It's just unbelievable,
Well,
isn't it?
I
Just
learned
really for fun.
I learned the other day, purely by accident, that he used to play in the Devon League.
Really?
He linked to Devon League cricket. He
So
played for Plymouth.
you can find a link anywhere, can't you?
Yeah.
Mate, I've got to talk about home. I'm going over there this year. I've got to blow him up sometime.
You will find a link anywhere.
I didn't play against him or anything like that. It was only in recent years, but
Yes.
apparently he played for Plymouth.
There you go.
Well, I mean, that was lucky on his part that you never got to,
Play again. Yeah, because
You
he
wouldn't
may
want
just,
break him down.
he may not have reached these
ruin
heights.
his-
You'd have taken him out
confidence.
offside. What is it? Like
Off-
outside
off
leg
stump,
stump?
off
Off
stump.
stump?
You wouldn't have wanted to be
Yeah.
in my pocket. You wouldn't have heard the end of it.
No, we wouldn't have heard the end of it. No,
But-
we
Hi,
wouldn't
Dave.
have.
But speaking of confidence,
Yeah.
that is the big difference. Like I was at the cricket yesterday and the day before. I got to see him bat for a while. It's different sometimes at the game, watching them from side on and stuff like that. But the big thing that stands out for me, and it's no surprise because for me this is a huge part and aspect of cricket, is where you are mentally. And he just walks around that pitch with his shoulders back as if he runs the joint.
Yeah.
And obviously what happened in England, just getting that break and then scoring some runs, he realised he belonged, and there's the big change for me.
Well, I think that the turnaround is remarkable because when he first walked out to bat in England, I think within the first few deliveries that he faced, he got sconed by Jofra Archer, and I thought, this guy's not going to last long. And then just since then, we all thought Steve Smith's a run machine. This guy's taken it to another level, and as we look at the stats currently for the series, Marnus Labuschagne is on 490 runs, which in a 3-test series, which isn't even finished yet, is incredible. The next position, Steve Smith, that we expect to be at the top of the run charts, less than half of that, 214 runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's following up from his heroics
Against Pakistan in the 2-test series. Yeah.
Yeah, so if Smith has been Bradman-esque over the last however long, what the hell is Labuschagne doing?
Well, Labuschagne's been Steve Smith-esque,
Yeah,
Yes.
hasn't he?
it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he just doesn't. He doesn't look like getting out though, does he?
Yeah, and look,
No.
some people put it down to various technique changes and work he's done with some coaches here and there. But like for me, the turnaround is more of a psychological self-belief type situation, and I saw it firsthand. Like I said, just walking around the middle of the SCG as if he really did own the place, and that is a big thing.
Well,
Body language. I mean,
you would after obviously, the series you had against Pakistan.
Yep.
And then the series he's had so far against New Zealand, you would be walking around like you own the joint because he basically does.
Well, he's going to be owning a few joints.
He could be. Hopefully,
If
look,
he continues to score runs like the way he is.
I mean, can you imagine if we had, Marnus and Steve Smith both scoring runs like they have been currently doing it, and previously would be.
Smith's still averaging 42 in this
42.
series, which is obviously below his career average, but
Yeah.
geez, I wouldn't mind averaging 42 in Test cricket.
I'd take that too. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind averaging
Interesting.
42 in any cricket.
Speaking of Steve Smith, interesting battle with himself and Wagner. Wagner probably the heart and soul of the New Zealand team.
Wagner has been outstanding for the Kiwis. What's that? Is that he's taken 17 wickets in the series?
Which is even more impressive when you think that Australia haven't batted they've only batted once.
Well, they've declared both times
Yeah.
far, and they will this innings as well with their second innings.
So I mean he has been phenomenal for a guy that sort of bowls at about 135.
Yep.
Probably his top speed.
Doesn't mind dropping the old one short.
And he bowls it well.
Yeah.
He get most of his wickets are predominantly from bounces.
Yeah. Has he exposed something with Steve Smith, do you think? That other
Possibly.
cricketing
I would
nations
thi-
will
I-
be looking to...
I think a lot of other countries will be trying the same tactic.
Mm.
Well, I think other countries did. England tried it with Jofra Archer.
Yeah,
And
it didn't work.
it's not... I don't know. Maybe it's that lack of pace that's causing the
Whoa.
issue.
Possibly.
Jofra almost nearly killed him.
Yeah.
While he was lying on the deck that day, I thought, oh my goodness.
But yeah, I mean, Wagner has... Well, Wagner's also... it's also getting Warner out for fun as well. So...
That is fun.
I think his average against Smith and Warner combined in this series is something ridiculously low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got them out. He's got Smith 4 out of 4, and I think he's got Warner 3 times as well. So
Did he fly under the radar with you guys? I didn't realise he had played so much Test cricket. He's up to about 49. Test matches
no,
or
it's sort of. I mean, I
thereabouts.
know he'd been playing a bit
Yeah.
Obviously not as well known because obviously in New Zealand, when we haven't played New Zealand for a while, we probably haven't spoken about him a lot. He got to his 200th Test wicket recently in about 46 Test matches.
Yeah.
I think the record for New Zealand was Richard Hadley at 44. So he's he's right up there in terms of wicket takers.
Yep.
And the pace of him taking wickets. So
says a lot for having a big heart.
Just
fitness.
Fitness, yeah.
He keeps going.
He looks remarkably fit, but it's just about he just turns up every day, day in, day out, and
ready to rumble,
and will give you the same effort in his 25th over that he did in his first, which is obviously great for a captain.
Yep.
When you've got a bloke that you just know will just turn up for you day in, day out, and give you that effort.
Yep.
Constantly.
Not shy of a word or two, is he?
No.
Well, you shouldn't be if you're a bowler. If you're a
bowler, you've got to sort of.
Surprised they didn't open with him yesterday.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they didn't open with him obviously day one as well. Colin de Grandhomme over the bowling.
He's an interesting one, isn't he?
Rolling about at 120s.
121. A little bit of movement, but
he just gets a little bit of movement. Look, he got Joe Burns.
He picks
again,
up
a few wickets here and there.
Yesterday he was running between wickets about as fast as he bowls. Sadly, missed out.
Probably a little slower.
Yeah.
Probably a little slower than he bowls, I would have thought. Yeah.
Seems a casual sort of.
It does
bloke.
a bit of a casual sort of bloke, but I mean, again, I'd be happy to average mid-20s with a bat and 30 with a ball. I'd probably take that in a Test career.
I think he averages in the 30s with the bat.
Well, there you go. There you go. Even better.
Yep.
So he's doing well. So
what was the thinking behind? Given that Bolt was out for this Test match, Southee being dropped.
Yeah,
that surprised you guys a bit.
That surprised me. I thought he was obviously one of these guys that had the virus, or he was injured. But when they actually said they dropped him, it's a little surprising,
especially when he's third in the.
It's not like he's been bowling.
He took some wickets in the.
It's not like
he's taken 12 wickets
poorly. No. He's bowled a lot of overs. I mean, if he played, he would have captained the team.
Yep.
Which. So that's a surprise that they dropped him.
Because the other angle is that they might have been resting him because of his workload in the first two Test matches. But they've got a month off the Kiwis, I think, don't they?
No, probably not. Probably not quite a month. Well, it depends. So actually, maybe before the next Test match. Yeah. So Southee may not play in the. Well, actually, I think he's their 2020 captain because they've got 2020s coming up against India when they get back home. So. I'm not sure if he'll play that. If they're talking about obviously the workload being an issue. Interesting one. Yeah. I would have thought he would have played. Look, by the end of that Test in Melbourne, he was only letting them down at de Grandhomme's pace.
Yeah.
The mid 120s. So maybe he did need a rest. But you just think with no Bolt, 3 of the blokes out.
Oh, you'd push him in, wouldn't you?
You think that you'd be finding a spot for him somewhere.
Yeah, especially given his experience.
Yeah.
Any other questions to come out of the Test series? Maybe more so out of the Australian camp. Aside from we know that there are a good number of players firing. Joe Burns at the top of the order. Happy to keep running with him.
That's probably still a question mark.
Little grey area.
Look, he's he
50 odd in the second Test.
Yep, that's probably not enough.
Yep.
I mean, he got cleaned up first ball on Boxing Day. Just went too hard at one from Bolt that came in a little bit. Good.
As an opener, you're going to get a
good ball from Bolt, but you need to be able to keep those ones out.
Yep.
So I think it is. I think that is a bit of an issue. He's certainly not locked down his spot.
Probably needs to just make sure he either ends up not out or gets a good 60 or 70 today.
Gets a score.
Save his spot for.
I think. Look, Matt Wade is I
think he
again, not always getting a lot of opportunities, especially in the first couple of Test matches because of obviously how dominant Warner and Labuschagne were in that Pakistan series.
Look, the way I see it, you guys are pretty settled at the moment. You've got a line up there that you can pretty much trust and a few extra guys on the peripheral that you can bring in if anyone has to drop out. The only question mark I'd have, personally, would be that I think it's March, isn't it, that the 2 years of Smith not being able to lead the side is up. Does Tim Payne continue as captain, considering the success that you guys have had?
Yes.
Or do they go back to old mate?
No.
Will they ever go back to old mate?
I think, well, possibly,
but
because you can't predict what's going to happen in the future. Tim Payne's a wicket keeper; he breaks a digit or whatever. But I think at this stage you can't change a formula that's working pretty well. I was calling for Tim Payne to be replaced by Carey.
Yeah.
Probably a few podcasts ago, but I think just the way things are going, and there seems to be a good atmosphere and environment going on around the Australian camp at the moment, and you wouldn't want to change that too much.
No,
and I think that's what Wade does bring to the table. He fits in. I think you'd almost call them Langer's men at the moment, because he's picked guys who sort of fight the battle.
Yeah.
And you look, Wade was the guy behind that run out yesterday. And it's just that he just gives a lot out in the field, and he keeps the energy going. And, it wasn't too long ago where he scored 2 tests in a pretty tough series.
Yeah, 200s against
200s in England.
So with the lineup that you've got David Warner, who's banged out a triple century this year. You've got Labuschagne, who's banging out hundreds and double hundreds like they're going out of fashion. Smith, who's obviously a run machine. At any point, if these three stop scoring the runs, does the focus then go on to Tim Payne and this whole thing about how he's not scored a test match century or a first class century or whatever it might be?
Yes, but then you've got Joe Burns to score runs, you've got Mate Wade in there to score runs, and you've got Travis Head.
Travis Head has just scored a century.
Just scored a century in Boxing Day. One thing I would probably like Travis to be batting at 5 and Wade to be batting at 6.
Yeah.
I don't think Wade should be batting at 5 ahead of Travis, but also to be fair to Tim Payne, to back him up, he's been scoring. He's been looking good at the crease. He's been scoring a few runs lately, 70 odd in the Boxing Day test. Looked okay the other day, scoring sort of another 35. Look, you'd love it, if he was scoring hundreds. But I mean, look, you can compare him to, say, at the moment, Josh Butler. He's keeping for England. He's not scoring a high volume of runs for them. Are they looking to drop him and put somebody else in to keep for them? They had Johnny Bairstow.
They've got an embarrassment of riches when it comes to wicketkeepers for
He's
England,
been dropped because he only averaged 18 or 19 or something in Test cricket last year. So, they obviously always compare wicketkeepers now to Adam Gilchrist. In terms of their run output,
which is a little unfair. I've realised it's an unfair system to have in place.
You can't expect that everybody will be exactly like Adam Gilchrist.
No.
Brad Haddon wasn't like Adam Gilchrist.
And he was pretty bloody good.
He was pretty good, yeah. He was pretty good.
Everyone sort of blames that on Adam Gilchrist, if you like, and Adam Gilchrist is definitely the premier wicketkeeper batsman. In the modern game. I thought it was a problem that was actually brought in by Alex Stuart, that attacking batsman that also kept wicket, but then he used to drop the gloves and sometimes
Alex
go into the field.
Alex Stewart was more of a batsman who became a wicketkeeper. I wouldn't have called him an out-and-out wicketkeeper, to be fair.
No.
When he started his career, he wasn't a keeper. I don't think he was a keeper, was he? He ended up just becoming England's wicketkeeper.
I don't
know. Must have had some sort of
keeping
pedigree.
But I think he first kept wicket for England.
No, but I'm not sure if he was. Well, I don't know.
We'll have to get back to everyone on that one.
We'll have to look that up. If you know the answer, if you know the answer to that, let us know, because I don't think I don't sort of ever
what I meant by that is that he was
keeping
wicket. What I meant by that is that he's keeping wicket. He's an attacking batsman, and that's then what started people looking for a keeper that can also bat.
I maybe wouldn't say Alex Stewart. I mean,
Ian Healy was achieving that.
Which
was around the same time, wasn't it?
I don't know. Was Healy before Stewart, do you reckon?
Well, he was. See, Ian Healy was keeping then. When Alex Stewart came into the Test team, he was a batsman.
Yeah,
he wasn't a wicketkeeper. So. I would say more Ian Healy than anything else in terms of Australian.
For Australia, definitely,
and being able to score hundreds.
Yeah.
And score them semi regularly, sort of thing, or at least having a higher output than what it was previously. But I mean, Tim Payne is doing a fantastic job.
Rodney Marsh knocked out a few tons.
A couple.
I think.
Couple.
Yeah.
He was certainly attacking.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tim Payne's doing a wonderful job as captain.
Yep. So in short, he stays.
He's doing a great job as
Can't drop him.
His wicket keeping is first class. So I don't. Yeah, this thing you got to drop him because he's not scoring any runs seems to be.
No, I don't think he should.
Redundant to me. It's a ridiculous argument.
It's more my point that it's good for him as well. He sort of goes under the radar because his. The rest of his team are performing so well.
A little bit. That's obviously taken a lot of pressure off him. Yeah, like if you're saying if we were struggling in the top 6,
yeah,
and we were looking for Payne to be scoring 100 to get us out of trouble. Yes, then there would be some pressure on. But
David Warner seems to have recaptured his reputation somewhat as well.
Yeah.
And I noticed that people are happy to use him in their advertising campaigns again now. I saw a thing on, I think it was Fox Sports last night, where the power of David Warner or something like that. Come on.
Yeah. I mean,
forgive and forget.
What happened? Yeah. What happened some time ago.
Yep.
It's funny you say that though, man, because following some of the stuff on social media, like there are people who just cannot let go of that.
Yeah.
There is one guy.
Well, Warner's a much maligned character.
Well, with Smith, too.
Well,
with Smith, too. The number of comments I see on social media are like, I'll get that cheat out of here. It's like...
Yeah, there's one guy that at my new work who refuses to speak those 3 guys' names and has admonished me for using them on the podcast. I was like, mate, why wouldn't we?
I feel like if...
You've done the time, they've had their punishment.
Yeah.
If
move
personally,
on.
like if in your heart as a cricket fan and that's how you feel about them, like cool. But to spend the energy trying to fight it on social media is like, man.
It's easy to be a keyboard warrior.
I mean, look, we could go here and list the names of people who've been done for ball tampering if you want to, but
right.
Again,
let's move on.
It's done. Like,
exactly.
They've been fined, they've been suspended, they've gone through whatever they've needed to go through, and now they've come back and now they're just
and they're performing at a very, very high level.
Yep.
So whilst we're on the topic of Test cricket, let's go overseas for a bit.
Why not? And again, Devon cricket well represented over in South Africa. Mate,
are you getting paid by the Devon Cricket Board to promote their cricket?
I hope you are, man.
I think
that'd be you'd be in a perfect spot for that.
It's so good if they did. I think they'd be more inclined to pay me to shut up
about
it.
I wouldn't be surprised if I end up having a Devon sandwich for breakfast.
Possibly.
Mate, if you're not careful, I'm going to come in here with a big Devon flag that says cream first across it.
Not the cream first again.
We're not going with that argument. All right.
Contact me separately if you want to know how to have your scones properly.
So this is the second test match.
Yes,
England lost the first one.
Oh, you wanted to get that line in, didn't you?
It wasn't that South Africa won; it was that England lost.
Yeah. So that was just a result,
and it was what happened.
It was a good result for South Africa. I think it was their first test win in they lost 5 tests in a row or something like that. So it's good for South African cricket.
England off the back of their loss in New Zealand.
Yep.
As well. I just thought I'd add that.
Just add that in. Yeah.
Yep.
But that's
a bit of a downer.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Excellent. He's out. But that's good for South African cricket.
Yes,
they're
needed it.
They're needed at the moment. They've got all sorts of issues sort of going on over there. They're in a bit of crisis. So it's good to see that. They came out with a strong performance.
Yep. England looking good so far, I would say, in the second test.
Yep.
They look like they've got the edge going into the 4th day. Bet.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how especially the British media, but the media as a whole, would jump on any lack of performance or anything like that. England got bowled out for 269 in the first innings, which is a below par score. And they jumped on it. Another England collapse. England rubbish. England can't play cricket, this, that, and the other. But then suddenly they bowl South Africa out for 223 and they have a first innings lead of, 46? Oh, England well on top in South Africa.
Yeah.
Come on. And then overnight...
your media's always half full or just empty, aren't they?
Oh, well, if it is half full, they'll try and empty a little bit. So.
Can I ask the question? We've got a new opening combination.
Yep.
Crawley and Sibley.
Yes.
Very tall.
After a footballing injury in the warm-up. the poor Rory Burns.
Right, so that's what I was looking to get at. So the old warm-up
the
injuries.
old football warm-up, did ankle ligaments.
I was watching the Aussies do their warm-ups yesterday, and then they sort of broke into a bit of a footy game. I was thinking,
that's just dangerous. It's just dangerous, I
just think that I don't know how he did it, whether he just rolled his ankle trying to control a ball or if it was done from a tackle.
Wasn't
if you're using football in your warm-up, because you should, I think it's a great way to warm up, know your limits. Don't go too hard. It's a little kick around before a game. It's not.
But
meant
we're talking about 11 very highly competitive individuals. That's why they're actually playing for their country in a chosen sport. Because they like to compete. They like to get on top of their opposition, even in a warm up.
Yeah, they don't want they don't want a little run around. It's sort of it always gets competitive.
Their chosen sport was not football. The football was only there as a warm up. If you want to pick up a rugby ball and go and chuck that around,
it's in their nature.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's within most sports people's nature.
Especially the younger blokes, it's like,
Yeah. But anyway, regardless, they've turned around. Ashley Giles has been a big advocate for not using football as a warm-up tool. He actually banned it previously at Warwickshire. And I think that the same is now happening for the England team. They're just going to stop it.
Just going to...
I mean, he can roll an ankle by treading on a cricket ball, can't you? So maybe you should ban cricket from the warm-up as well.
You should do that too. Well, Shane Ward would ban warm-ups full
stop.
Well,
I wasn't a big fan of the warm-up, to be truthful, especially on hot days. Weren't you already warm?
Yeah. So, Warney reckons you don't need all that.
Do you see a cheetah warm-up prior to going for the kill, running at 120
Ks?
20 Ks?
Yeah, but you're confusing a highly tuned wild animal with a bunch of pikeys.
What's a what? A pikelet? What?
Oh, it's an English term.
Yes.
Is that term from Devon?
No. No, but like I say, Devon cricket well represented. Dominic Bess in there, young lad from Sidmouth. Vernon Philander played in Devon League as well. Or maybe not so well represented, just the two. Or one from each team. That's pretty good though. But historically,
are we a chance of going viral in Devon? With this podcast,
Mate, we should get like
at least three or four,
at least two people listening.
It depends on how many friends Charlie has in Devon.
Well, not many anymore. In fact, even at my home club, there's probably only one or two still left there from when I was playing. But I did share a photo with you a while ago that was on the Devon Cricket website of someone using a Kingsport bat.
You did. I remember that, and I remember talking to you about it, thinking, well, surely that's somebody that you know.
No, didn't have a clue.
That's word of mouth come because you know people in the area. Somebody's eventually come around and hears about Charlie and some Kingsport bats and whatnot, and no, totally organic.
No, and I hate to mention potential opposition, but it did make me laugh that there is a guy in Devon selling cricket equipment called Wombat, and his name is Harry Solomon.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes, What are the chances? Of the chances?
Was that his given name, or has he changed it later by default?
Oh well, who knows? But just shows that our Harry has global reach.
That should be our podcast goal: is to get Harry Solomons and
Harry Solomon together on the podcast.
How good would that be?
Oh boy,
talking cricket bats.
Why don't we do it? I'm going over in May, so maybe I'll try and get hold of this guy.
It's a free plug right now for Harry Solomon in the UK and his Wombat cricket brand.
It's ironic, Australian animal on his cricket brand. Yeah.
Is this a 3-test series?
This is
4-test.
4-test series.
What's going on? It's like in the old days, it used to be either 3 or 5. Now we have all these. Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, they're backing on one being a draw, aren't they, I suppose? Yeah. This test is in Newlands in Cape Town. I think it's one of the most picturesque cricket grounds in the world.
What about Cape Town?
Well, I'd love to go there. Oof. It's definitely on my bucket list for many things.
You've ticked it?
Yeah, Ben.
Easy game.
Okay.
Play on.
All right.
Got the invite.
Went over.
Yeah, so look, I don't really know which way the series is going to go. I don't think it's a particularly strong lineup for either side. Obviously, there's some people who've performed at a high level like Philander and Rabada for South Africa with the ball, and obviously England have got Broad and Anderson, who they do what they do and they have done for years.
Yeah, they're getting a bit long in the tooth.
They are, but age doesn't seem to be a barrier for Anderson, who picked up another 5-wicket haul.
Yeah. Oh, did he?
Yeah, was that his 28th?
It was now 27th, I think, and it put him ahead of Ian Botham on the all-time list of people who've taken 5-wicket hauls for England in Test matches. 19 overs, 5 for 40. It's pretty good.
Gun.
It's pretty good. And Stuart brought up top, did the damage early.
You know what I like about that is, though, because I'd almost started to write him off, particularly after the first test. He got a wicket with his first ball, I think, down the leg side, and then didn't get another one. And I was like,
Who Broad?
Coming back
Anderson.
Coming back from injury, I thought, is this the end of the road? But this is the sign of a true champion. Mm-hmm. Just as you start to write them off, bang, comes up with something.
I think he's still going to come out for the next Ashes series out here. I think he still wants to play there. I'm not sure how well.
It's a great goal to have, but of all the Ashes series he's played over here, and he's played a few now, he's only really had one successful one.
His record's pretty ordinary.
Yeah, it doesn't suit, and I worry for people like Sam Curran. It's coming over to Australia as well, but then they say that conditions in South Africa are relatively similar to Australia. So, and he's going all right over there.
How many Currans are there?
I think
Tom
there's
and
three.
Sam.
No, I'm sure there's another one.
The mysterious third Curran.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sure there's another brother.
There's Tom played for England in the last Ashes series down here.
Yep.
Sam's come into the side and has taken more wickets. And
Tom's playing for the Sixers.
Tom's playing for the Sixers.
Yeah.
I don't know of Curran number 3. Maybe people can write in about that.
I'm going to see if I can figure out.
I'm sure there's another one.
Dual sleuthing.
A younger one.
Find a third Curran.
Old mate over there can do some research in the corner while we talk about night watchman. Dom Best coming in as night watchman and getting removed.
Yep.
Ah.
Always.
Is it a waste of a wicket?
Another little 3-letter name, Ben Curran, is the third Curran.
There you go.
And who does he play for?
He plays for Northamptonshire.
Ah, well, there you go.
Yeah, so I told you there was a third Curran.
Wow.
Very rarely are
Mr.
you wrong,
Cricket.
Stewie.
Not often, no.
Especially with the force behind you.
Oh, yeah. Can we talk about that? Just
Why
for
not?
a second, as a sidetrack. That Saber bat that you've got,
Yes.
is it flying off the shelves, literally?
Well, yeah, it's still in production. I did say that it was something that we're working on. It was just a sample.
Has it been tested with a cricket ball yet?
Well, look, so that's our sticking point at the moment.
Yeah.
Not destroying cricket balls.
You can see in the short clip that we took a mallet to it with
it's
not great results.
How many mallets have you gone through?
At least a dozen.
Yeah, at least a dozen.
At least.
Look,
I
we're having trouble with cricket balls. We are destroying some cricket balls.
Yeah, I got
it's a little
the prototype here on the table with me.
It's a little too powerful
The
at
old
the
Kingsport
moment.
Saber.
Can you turn it on, please?
No, not in confined spaces.
No,
it wouldn't be good to do that right here.
Electrical equipment. It wouldn't be safe.
No,
wouldn't be safe at all to do that.
Yeah. And I'm closest to him, so I'm not particularly keen.
No,
of course not.
Yeah,
It's pointed at you.
What a disappointment. We all know what the viewers want.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen on this podcast.
Not this one. Not on this one. Anyway.
But good to go viral, Stewie. And you won a YouTube award, I think, for Best Actor for 2019.
Well, the Golden Globes are in a couple of hours, mate. If you get on a plane, you might get there.
Yeah, I'm sure Ricky's put me in his speech. He's going to speech me. So I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I really want to watch
maybe
that.
you'll provide a link to that particular clip.
Sure, yeah.
I think you should overlay it.
For those that may not have
seen it.
I might could overlay a little clip.
Although I do believe when I last looked that most people in the world had seen that clip.
We got good responses on that clip. It was a fun little project to work on, and
it was fantastic. I must applaud.
Thanks, man. It was a lot of work.
Producer Nick.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but
It was none of
Send your invoice to Harry.
It was not my work. It was all Nick's work. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate. Got some good feedback. Got several people asking.
But
my favorite comments, the ones that are like, I know it's not real, but is it real? Those are the best.
The pressure is on for the sequel though, because the sequels can sometimes be a little underwhelming.
We'll see.
Oh, I don't know. I know Empire Strikes Back was pretty good.
Force field around the pads.
Yeah, but everything since
Pat Whips could do with that, so he doesn't get triggered LBW. Mind you, probably still give an LBW even with the force field around his pads.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
we digressed.
Thanks for the nod on the Saber video, man.
Should we talk a little bit of Big Bash?
You should.
I suppose.
I should.
Has the Big Bash started?
Yeah, I think it has.
There's still test cricket going on.
Yeah, I think it has. Hamish.
There's still real cricket going on. Look, to be truthful,
just in the evenings after the test match is finished, you see a little bit of dessert.
Yep.
And so just.
I'm looking forward to getting into the BBL in a day or so once this
once the test series is over.
Before we move on, let
Yes.
me just a big shout out to all the people at the SCG. I went yesterday for the McGrath Day.
Yes.
The pinkness and the feeling and the atmosphere at the game and the money that's getting raised.
Yep.
Outstanding. Even in its 12th or 13th year now.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
absolutely outstanding. It really is.
Still doing a wonderful job.
Just to sit there and look out the rest of the ground and just see so much colour.
Yeah,
in pink. It's fantastic.
Good, yeah, and I think
and long may it keep going.
Yes, I think today being day 4, they're also doing. They're also going to raise some money for the bushfires as well.
Yep.
I think today, which is really, really important.
Yeah. It's I can say I've only lived in Australia for a few years, and I believe for everybody that's I've heard from says that this is the most devastating, most widespread bushfire that we've ever experienced. Now, I just got a message from my friend Will. Hey, Will. Checking in. Like I've had an outpouring of my American friends and family checking in, making sure we're all okay.
Yeah,
same.
Yeah, we're
absolutely.
We are.
We're sort of lucky that we're all in the city.
Yep.
I just can't begin to imagine what it's like.
No,
but you don't. You don't have to go. You don't in Sydney. You don't have to go too far to be in bushland, and so it's.
Oh, I guess we've all got people we know or related to that are affected by what's going on.
And it's what's galling to me is the people that are actually starting them on purpose and are doing it on purpose. Like yesterday, that's a different level. Yesterday at work, we were treated is the wrong word, but we had the spectacle of a stack of smoke. For those who don't know, I now work at Bankstown Airport, so flying in smoke is not ideal. There was a stack of smoke just to the south of the airfield down near Milpera Way, and we had the sight of the water bombing helicopters and the water bombing aircraft coming in and doing flypasts to try and get rid of this fire, which it sounds like had been started deliberately.
Yes,
it's hugely irresponsible. And I know that this is not a cricket-related thing that we're talking about right now, but it's hugely irresponsible to be doing anything with fire in such a dry period.
Yeah.
And when the ground and the vegetation is so dry, and for my other job, it's heartbreaking to see what's happening to all the animals out there as well.
No kidding.
Seeing people trying to rescue koalas, for example, and pouring bottles of water down their throat. Just for information, guys, that actually will do them more harm than good. If you're pouring bottles of water down a koala's throat, there's a good chance the water will end up in their lungs. They'll contract pneumonia. If you see a koala that's struggling or anything like that, if you put water in a bowl and let the koala lap it up, and they're much more able to deal with it. Now, I'm not an expert on koalas by any chance, by any stretch of the imagination, but anyway, we digress again. If you are living in an area where fire is a risk, please be safe, please be responsible, and don't be afraid to ask for some help if you need it.
Well, yeah, if you need to get out. But also, obviously, if you can give a little bit of money, do it, even if it's just $1.
Yeah, and the RFS
it all helps.
The RFS are heroes.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
They're doing a wonderful job. But if you donate to the Red Cross, or to an organisation like Wise, so they can look
do
after
what they
any animals that they can come across. It is extremely worthwhile. The bushfires have affected the cricket. If we just sort of continue on that, obviously the Women's National Cricket League was supposed to start up again today. It was supposed to be New South Wales were supposed to play the ACT at Hurstville Oval.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that game's had to be postponed because obviously some of the ACT players have been unable to get out of Canberra due to the fires, and they've had to postpone that game. Unfortunately, they'll organise to play it at a different time. But just if you're anywhere near a fire or in those sort of zones, be safe, look after yourself.
There's a whole host of websites and organizations you could donate to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and collate at least a short list of some of the bigger ones to put in the description of this video. Did you guys happen to see this thing that Celeste Barber, the Australian comedian's done?
She's done
She put up a fundraiser last week for set a goal of $20,000.
Oh,
and since then, it was just in less than a week, in just a couple of days, it's now surpassed $30 million of donations.
Unbelievable.
She's done a wonderful job.
Cool.
If you know who she is, she sort of sends up, the celebrities and those sort of people, sort of doing those funny sort of
skits.
all those sort of model shoots and stuff like that. And that's an unbelievable effort to raise that much money. That's fantastic. Yep. Now, if we just
BBL?
Get back into the BBL.
BBL, that's where we're at.
Yeah, your favourite topic, Hamish. So, as it stands at the moment, the Melbourne Stars are on top. They've been playing some good cricket. The Sydney Sixers are second. The Thunder are third. The Strikers are fourth. And then you've got Hobart, Brisbane, Perth, and currently the reigning champs are sitting last and are 0 from 6.
Wow.
So how good's that?
So it's a good defence of the title so far.
And traditionally, the Scorchers.
Yeah.
In 7th, and I would have thought Brisbane Heat would have been a bit higher on the charts.
Yeah, Brisbane are waiting for AB de Villiers to turn up, I think.
But they've also got the Lynn factor.
They do have the Lynn factor, and he scored some runs last night. But they've been pretty ordinary. But on the opposite end of that, the Melbourne Stars have been really good. Marcus Stoinis is up there currently leading the run tally.
He got a bit of a slap on the wrist the other day.
He got a little slap on the wrist. He was a bit of a naughty boy the other day, and used some wrong language. So he is a little bit lighter in the hip pocket, which is good. Josh Philippe is doing really well for the Sixers. He batted really well yesterday in their win over the Adelaide Strikers up at Coffs Harbour. Scored 80 odd and was really good.
Is that his preferred pronunciation?
Philippe. I'm not sure actually. I haven't personally checked with him.
Josh Philippe. Get him on. Let's get him on the show.
Most people are running with Philippe, I think.
Pronunciation is key. Let's get him on the show.
It is. I think I can get this bloke's name right. Callum Ferguson. He's doing really well. Callum taking over the captaincy at the Thunder. And they're doing a great job. Obviously with our boy Chris Green in there as well, doing a good job there too. Darcy Short, he scored 100 yesterday. So he's starting to find a little bit of form. Alex Carey's been really good. Played some wonderfully delightful shots over cover in a few of his innings and is looking really good. So interesting tournament so far. Obviously, you're sort of saying, obviously the Melbourne Renegades, who were the reigning champs, are absolutely battling. With a good team too. To be fair, it's not like they don't have. It's not like they lost some players and don't have good players. They're actually probably a little bit stronger because they got Sean Marsh in.
Yep.
But they just can't seem to win a game at the moment. Just can't seem to do anything.
Need to play more ramp shots. I feel that's the key to success.
I'm not sure that's totally the key to
success. And the Sixers last night buoyed by a celebrity appearance of Josh Hazelwood returning from.
Yep.
And without Captain Moses Henriques, may I say good luck to the Henriques family. He's expecting his first child. So Moses is a local boy to this area. He actually did work experience with us at Kingsgrove Sports Centre, and we wish him all the best.
Absolutely.
On the subject of pronunciation, I never knew it was Henriques. I thought it was Enriques or Enriquez.
Look, Enriquez is probably the way you would pronounce it if he was playing soccer for Portugal. And he was born in Portugal, the great cricketing nation. Look, as a youngster, and we always just said Henriques, and that's the way it sort of planted itself in my mind.
Yes.
And
I think it is Enriquez, but
yes.
I have heard him say that he's not
overly fast.
His brothers play at your club, don't they?
Yep.
So okay, interesting.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
It's definitely a family affair. Upcoming fixtures in the BBL then. Any of those that stand out for you, Stu?
Well, look, I mean, they're all... I think there's one coming up. So the Melbourne Renegades are taking on the Perth Scorchers. I think that's going to be a big game because...
The basement battle.
Both of those teams need to keep winning very... Actually, no, they've already played. That's the 7th of January. You need to go down lower.
Why? It's the 6th today.
Oh, it's the 6th. I don't know. See, when you're on holidays, you just have no idea what day it is.
Yes.
But so that's obviously going to be a key game coming up. The Strikers will be looking to get revenge over the Sixers. They play again very soon, but this time at home in Adelaide. So that's going to be key. I mean, the thing with the Big Bash is obviously there's always. I mean, every game is a key game. You can't sort of afford to lose too many games. You want to be winning as many games as you can, and get on top. So be interesting to see how it keeps going, how it ends up. Probably a fairly important tournament in this one with a T20 World Cup at the back end of of this year.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
in October and November. So
plenty of guys like Felipe.
Yep.
Who want to put their hand up and sort of say, "Hey, selectors, take note."
Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to
Chris
go.
Lynn,
so
Chris, he'd be looking to maintain his spot. Injuries.
I think Chris has actually retired from international cricket.
Really?
Yeah. I think he's just going to...
Not even available for a World Cup?
Don't think so. Look, if he has a really good one, he may be persuaded to be, talked out of it. But Chris does have some limitations in terms of his fielding with his shoulders.
Yep.
He's obviously had some pretty bad shoulder injuries, so he sort of does struggle a little bit with those. Can be very devastating, but if I'm being honest, he's probably not consistent enough, to be fair.
Yep.
I think that's one of his downfalls, but so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, big tournament. It's going well so far.
Yep.
Crowd seem to be good. People seem to be enjoying it.
When's it all finish up?
I think you'll
just so I can know when to
be ready for the final.
Ready to peak.
Yeah,
it's not till late February, early March, is it?
No. Well, they've shortened it this year from previous years because people thought it started to drag out a bit too much at the end of January. There you go. 31st of January
is the qualifiers, the knockouts, the final 8th of February.
Yeah, there you go. I think it's sort of 2 weeks shorter than it was last year.
To be truthful, the main reason I asked is I'm keen for the Sheffield Shield season to start once again.
Yeah.
New South Wales on top at the moment.
Doing well.
Come on.
Unfortunately, doing well, and then had to take a bit of a hiatus and a break from that, unfortunately. But they have been playing some really good cricket, haven't they?
Yep.
New South Wales?
Yes.
Been doing really well.
The best part about it is that they've won games at some seriously full strength lineup, but when some of those Aussie players aren't there, they've got the guys that seem to be able to continue to do the job.
Yep,
which is important.
Yeah, so we'll just talk a little bit of Sheffield Shield. So New South Wales is on top. They played 6, they've won 5.
Yep.
So they're doing a very good job. Western Australia's second. They played 6, they've only won 2.
Big difference.
But interesting enough, Queensland are third. They played 6 and they've won 3 games.
Yes.
But they're third.
Yes.
So the bonus points and stuff that they're coming up with these days. So,
yep.
Do love a bonus point.
Yeah, and Victoria have played 6 and they've won none.
That's fantastic. That is really... I mean, they were last year's champs too.
They were.
That's the best part.
Yep.
What's going on in Victoria at the moment?
I don't know.
Bring back Cameron White.
Yes. Yeah, got rid of him. Oh, no. He was a bit... Did you see what he did the other day?
No.
Cameron White? It was a bit... Something with the Adelaide fans were doing something with some chips, and so a few of the Strikers boys got involved, and then but Cameron White just walked up and just knocked the chips out of the place. So
right.
I'm not sure what was going on there, but anyway. So yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Is there anything else we want to speak about?
I don't know. To me, it feels like we've run out of things to talk about.
Well, that's good. That's a good place to stop. If you feel like you've run out of things to talk about, that's the best place to stop.
We could keep talking about
maybe.
We'll start to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, as ever, ladies and gentlemen, you can contact us through the socials. I'll give those out again. On Facebook, we're at Kingsgrove Sports Centre. On Instagram, we're at Kingsgrove Sports. On Twitter, we're Kingsgrove Sport. Singular, no plural. As ever, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher.
That's it, man.
That's it.
Yep.
I feel like there should be more.
Normally, I'll say, if you're listening on any kind of other podcast platform, then our RSS feed's in the link description. But most people are just listening on that stuff you mentioned. So
yeah.
How the Crimson Tide going quickly?
Yeah. Season's over. We had a bowl game against Michigan, a Citrus Bowl, I think it was called, to end our games for this year. We beat Michigan, so. We were out of the playoffs a few weeks back, so our season's over, but we'll be back strong again next season.
Certainly will. Alrighty, and to all the club cricketers that are starting up the second half of their season, best of luck to you all as well. Everyone who's affected by the fires, stay safe. You have our sympathy and our thoughts, and we wish we could do a bit more. As it stands, we're going to leave it at that for now, and we'll see you all for episode 34.